Thanks, Lee. Good morning, everybody. I am Matt McCray with Chelsea Insurance Group. It is Monday, January 22nd, 2018.
Good morning, everybody.
Hold on.
I'm Matt McCray with Chelsea Insurance Group. It is Monday, January...
Sorry about that. Just wanted to thank everybody for taking some time out of our very busy Monday mornings and joining us on the live stream or on the call today. We've got some great information to be providing everybody today. There's a new program. We're rolling it out nationwide, so we'll get into that in just a minute. First off, every week we always start with a recap of what our call was about the last week. The last time we had a call, we talked about our $10 lead program and how that is continuing. Such great success from the agents on that program. We have decided to continue to keep that running. So 40 leads, $400. Get out there and every week you've got to get 40 leads. You got to go talk to all those people. You got to, if you want to make that type of income that you're dreaming of, the six figures in the final expense market, it takes leads. Now, just because the government's on shutdown doesn't mean you should be on shutdown yourself. We're not on shutdown. Only the government can do that. We are here working. You should be here working. Buy your leads and get out there in the field and talk to people. They need you to come see them and talk to them about final expense. So that was our last call. Every week, we do have a text message group that we like to send out, an occasional message, once a week or a couple times a month. Not very often. We're not going to spam your cell phones, but if you would like to join that text message group, text the letter CIG to the phone number 33222. It's not a phone number, but it's how you join our text message group. 33222 is the number that you send to, and the message that you put in the body is CIG. Every week we also like to talk about what our average annualized premium is for the policies that we're writing. So this month we are running at $841.13. A little bit lower than we'd like to see it. Typically we'd like to see that up around $860, $875, but I do remember at the beginning of the month we had quite a few, we were quite a bit lower than that because we had quite a few of the grandchildren policies that got submitted. So since then it has been trending up. So keep that going in the right direction, and we'll get back to where it needs to be. Okay, so let's jump into the meat of the call today. And I just want to kind of give a background on this. We are rolling out a new program to our agents across the country where you now have the ability to sell high premium life insurance policies. And the way that you're going to do that, well, before we get into the way that you're going to do that, let's just talk about why we decided to do this. And final expense is a great market. We're always going to be doing final expense. But we were looking for something different that to offer the agents with a different income opportunity that's not going to conflict with final expense. That's not going to conflict with final expense, but it could be added to it for a great income opportunity with an untapped market, no competition. So this product is the policies are typically averaging what we've seen, $4,600 of average annualized commissionable premium. The premiums are actually even much higher than that. But they're, the $4,600 annual premium, there's no competition in this. It's just it's a great program. So basically we were looking, Alan and I were looking for a different program that our agents could start offering where there's not as much competition. Final expense has a ton of competition. It's not driven quite as heavily on a lead program. So this is, I'm just so excited about it. It's just something that everybody needs. So let's talk a little bit about it. This is a program that's going to help people get out of debt in 9 years or less. So how many people do you know who are in debt? And just about everybody you talk to these days have some sort of debt that they're in, whether it's a mortgage or cars or credit cards or whatever. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my personal plan, because when I went to this boot camp back in December, Al and I went in December, and then we started sending some of our agents in January, and some of those agents that just got back, they were there last week. They'll be talking here in a little bit today, so you can hear from them as well. But I want to talk about my personal plan, because when I went down to this boot camp, I was looking to see what this could do to help me secure my retirement in a much better way than what I was doing. You know, of course, I've got my RRAs and other investments and stuff that I'm planning on utilizing for my retirement. But it just, I'm not sure what's going to happen there. I wasn't sure. So I wanted to look at something that is going to be different and it's going to help me. So here's my plan. I currently have a mortgage and a rental property. Both of those had just been refinanced or purchased. You know, the rental property was just purchased and my home was just refinanced. So I'm in 30-year mortgages on both of these. I have 2 cars. Both have car payments. I have credit cards and student loans from college that are being paid on. Taking all of that, I was going to be in debt for 30 years paying on all of this stuff. The 2 mortgages were the things that were going 30 years, but there's always going to be car payments. There's always going to be credit cards and stuff. So in debt for 30 years just on the current debt that I have now. With this program, I am able to be out of debt in 9.8 years. So it's taking all of my debts and getting everything paid off. My mortgage, my rental property, the cars, everything is going to be completed in 9.8 years. And in 30 years, see, I'm going to continue to make the payments into those things. You know, the same amount of money that I'm spending now, I'm going to continue to spend. But that's going to go into this program for my retirement. And in 30 years, I'm going to have over $988,400. In tax-favored retirement income. One thing about this, I'm going to start paying myself interest instead of paying it to the banks. You know, being out of debt in just call it 10 years. Being out of debt in 10 years, there's 20 years of mortgage payments that I'm not going to be paying to a bank, where that interest that I would typically be paying to the bank, I'm going to start paying it to myself into my policy. So we're using found money to pay the premium. My monthly premium is a little over $1,800 per month. And the way that I got to that, I'm not paying any more out of my pocket now for this policy than I was paying prior to having the policy. Where did we come up the $1,800 though? We were making overpayments on the mortgage. We were making overpayments on the car, paying extra to get it paid off early. That's what I wanted to do. I don't want to be in debt forever. So I already knew that, you know, and most people do that. If you have a mortgage payment of $1,000, a lot of times people are paying $1,100 or $1,200 onto their mortgage. If their car payment's $400, they're paying $450. If their credit card payment is $75, they're paying $200. So all of those extras that are being paid, instead of paying those into my car payment, my mortgage, and my you know, credit cards and stuff, I just averted those funds. Instead of pointing them here into this stuff, I pointed them into my life insurance policy that I'm now going in as paid up edition riders, which is what that's doing is it's inflating how fast my life policy is. You know, it's just building the cash value there, and then once I have cash value build up over here, I grab some of it out of there and I pay off some credit cards. So in about 3 to 4 months after my policy's been in effect, I'm going to be able to pay off most of my credit cards. And then but I'm going to keep making those payments, but those payments are going into my policy, building the cash value, paying back the money that I borrowed. And then at I think it was at 10 or 11 months of having the policy. Then the student loans were getting paid off. And then about a year and a half into it, one of the cars is being paid off. And then at about 2 years, I think it was, the second car is going to be paid off. And then starting from year 3, basically up until 9.3 to 10, it's working on paying off the two big deals, the 2 mortgages. But all of it, the payments that I've been paying on everything else is just kind of snowballing in to my policy where I can take it out later and pay big chunks off of the mortgage. And we're doing all that with found money, just money that I was already spending. This is basically, a lot of you have probably heard of that infinite banking concept. A lot of insurance agents that sell life insurance have heard of that. Nelson Nash came out with it many years ago. This program of helping people get out of debt and using it as their retirement income vehicle is basically the Nelson Nash's infinite banking, but on steroids. Because in the infinite banking program, that never, you can't really typically start taking money out of that and start using it until your 3rd or 4th year. And it just talks to you about just buying cars and stuff like that through the plan. But you have to fund it for 3 to 4 years. With this program that we're rolling out to you, your clients are going to be able to, you should probably be your first client yourself when you get your own policy, as I did. But 3 to 4 months in, you're able to start seeing some of the benefits of your bank. And that's exactly what this is. You're creating your own bank account where you're going to end up paying yourself an interest instead of paying the interest out to the banks. But basically, so it's the Nelson Nash Infinite Banking Program on steroids. 3 to 4 months, not 3 to 4 years, you can start using that money. Now, you're going to be able to provide your clients, this process is basically, it's a two appointment process. The first appointment, you're going to gather information, you're going to do a presentation about the basic concept of how it works, about getting out of debt, saving for retirement. So you're going to do a basic presentation and you're going to collect information from your prospect or your client. You're going to get the information of all of their debts. So you're going to get their mortgage payment, you're going to get their credit card payments, their car payments, if they have any student loans. You're going to find out if they have a 401k at work. You're going to find out all the details of their financial picture. You're going to get a financial snapshot of their current situation. Then you take that information back to the office. You data enter the information into our proprietary software system. And then what you do is you just check a box that says, I request assistance on this plan. And then what you do is you just sit back and you wait a day or two. A day or two later, what we're going to do at that point is we're going to go into the system and we're going to do all the math, do the calculations, get the life insurance proposal, the life insurance illustration from the carrier. We're going to load it into the system. The system is going to spit out a beautiful report, 5 or 6 page report that shows your client's current situation. It's going to say, based on the path that you're going down now, you're going to be in debt for 30 years, or you're going to be in debt for 25 years, or whatever it is. And this, it's going to show you a pie graph. It's going to show in big color. It's going to say this amount is how much you're going to pay in interest, how long and how much you're going to pay. And then it does, it shows if you switch over and go with this new concept that we're showing you, it's going to show your prospect how little they're going to pay in interest and how much money that they're going to save themselves, and they're going to have that at retirement. This report that prints out basically is going to close the deal for you. There's been a ton of thought that's gone into this program and this software. It is proprietary software. You've got to go to boot camp to learn how to do it. But it's an amazing program. Now, that information that gets loaded into there, we can continue to do that for you forever, or if you decide that you want to start doing your own illustrations and doing all the work yourself, you can go ahead and start, we'll teach you how to do it yourself as well. So if you're wanting to get a proposal done over the weekend and the office is closed, you can actually do it yourself if you needed to. Okay. What else did I have on my sheet here? Software system does all the calculations. Boot camp is every month. And let me tell you something. This boot camp will change your life. That's one thing I don't take lightly when I say that, but I can promise you it will change your life. It's changed my life. It's changed Alan's life. The agency that we go through on this program, Your Family Bank, they've been doing this program for 8 years now, and it has changed many agents and many policyholders' lives now at this point, because it truly is a way that's going to fix a major problem that we face in this country. Everybody's living in debt, and everybody is not secure with what's going to happen in their retirement. Is Social Security going to be there? We don't know. Is their 401k going to tank because the stock market tanks? We don't know. What's going to happen in the future? We don't know. But through a program like this, we can now help everybody that you know get out of debt and secure a very comfortable living for their retirement. And the good part about it is these retirement, this being used as a retirement plan, is it's going to be an income tax favored retirement plan, because you're living off of the proceeds of a life insurance policy. So boot camp is every month. The next one is in February 22nd and 23rd. The boot camp is in St. Augustine, Florida, just outside of Jacksonville. The cost of the boot camp is $149, but it's 2 days packed full of information. We had we had 5 in the group in the boot camp last month. The boot camp typically holds about 25 to 30 agents. They do it once a month. I'm sure that we're going to have 15 to 20 agents at the February one, because everybody that we're talking to so far is loving it. It is filling up fast. So let me jump over here to my computer here real quick, because I would like to play a recording. Just got to get this, get into my email here. Okay, this is one of the agents that went to boot camp. Hopefully we can hear this.
I just lost the full camp a little while.
I'm not gonna be able to play that. We got a couple of different things on my computer that's playing sound from the live stream. I can't figure that out. But so that was one of the agents that went to boot camp. He called in after boot camp on his way back and just wanted to basically tell Alan, I thank you for sending him. It's changing his life. He's very excited about it. And we actually heard from that. So he called us on Friday to let us know. But we actually heard back from that agent just today, about an hour and a half ago. He called and said over the weekend he had already started talking to people about it, and he's looking at $28,000 of annualized premium through a couple of policies that he plans on writing this week. Since he just got out of boot camp, and he said he had somebody else that he hasn't talked to yet. Well, he started the conversation with. But he believes that he's going to have another $12,000 annual premium from that person. So basically, he went to boot camp Thursday and Friday of last week. He's already called us today. He called us Friday on his way home, said he was so excited he was going to start talking to people over the weekend. He called us today and said, oh, just from the conversations he's had over the weekend, he's looking at doing $28,000, but he's got somebody else later this week that's probably going to be another $12,000. So he's looking at $40,000 of annualized premium already, and he just got out of the boot camp, and he has no leads. Just talking to people in his warm market. I would also one of the other agents that went. His name is Sal. He's actually on the phone with us today. Sal's been in the industry for 30 years. He sells annuities, mortgage protection, final expense, all types of different types of life insurance. He's a 30-year. He's a closer. He's a great agent. Sal, are you on the call? Would you like to just kind of tell everybody about your experience with boot camp? What did it? Why did you go? What did it mean to you while you were there, and what did you come away with from boot camp?
I'd be glad to. Al and I have been friends and worked together for many years, and he brought this opportunity over to me to take a look at, and I was blown away. I've been a very successful agent. I've managed agents, worked with many agents, but I like this industry, but honestly, it's been getting kind of stale for me because you're going out there and seeing people, you're showing the same thing that everybody else has. And if you don't have a good lead source or you don't have a good story to tell, you're kind of just really selling a commodity. When I look at this program, I found a program here that will provide change in people's lives. It's not about going out there and selling life insurance to people. That's not what this is. This is a program in which they've already put all the marketing to the test that needs to be presented to people, and all we have to do is go out there and tell a story, and actually tell a person's story or a family story and how we've got them out of debt, but now we can actually go in there and show people how to get themselves out of debt, because we don't know how to get out of debt. I mean, we always have to say we have a plan to do it or we want to do it, but what was that they said down there? If you don't have a plan, it's just a wish. Well, this is an actual plan that we can go out there and present to people. As a matter of fact, on the first appointment, you're not even talking about life insurance. You're just basically talking to them about a concept. And this really separates, I believe will separate me and everybody on this call from everybody out there, because this is not a commodity. This is a change of lifestyle. But what I like about it is that they show you how to go through this program and using the current dollars that they're putting out every month and efficiently directing them into a way in which we can pay their debt off, or they can pay their debt off in as little as 9 years or less. So when I walked away from it, I really felt good about this. I already talked to some clients that already shown interest, and so it's just I walked out of there really excited. I mean, I figured if I got sick of selling insurance, I can always go sell RVs, but this is just a fantastic opportunity, and I'm looking forward to getting started. I would have been studying this over the weekend. However, the airlines lost my carry-on bag and it had all my material in it, so I just got it opened today. So, but I highly encourage you, if you're looking for a change in your life, and more importantly, where you can go out and see clients and feel good about what you're bringing to them. You're changing their lives. And more important, on top of that, though, the organization that is down there in St. Augustine's, Your Family Bank, these are real people. These people love what they're doing. They're sincere. And, you're going to find that, I believe that I'm going to find clients who are going to be bringing people to me. And your income's not going to be dependent on how much you spend on leads, but it's going to depend on how many people's lives you change. Because when you change their lives, they're going to want to help you change other friends and people in their lives. So if you're considering going down there, I would highly encourage it. It's well worth the time and money to invest in yourself to do this. And I'm very excited. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Sal. Appreciate you attending the boot camp and providing feedback on the call for everybody, because a lot of times agents want to hear it. They don't want to just hear Matt or Alan or talking about it on a conference call or whatever. That's an agent who's out in the field every day, day in and day out, selling insurance. He went to boot camp. he's so excited about changing not only his life, but changing the lives of the people that he sits down with, because that's exactly what this is going to do. There's no other program out there on the market like it. There's no competition, and everybody is in need of a program like this. I got out of boot camp, the very first policy that I wrote was on myself. That's just the type of product that it is. Lee from our office also went last week to the boot camp. Lee, you're on the call, right? Do you have anything that you wanted to add in?
Yeah. So one of the reasons I went to boot camp was because I know that agents will be calling and asking questions, and I wanted to be able to answer the questions, and I wasn't really too excited about the product because I stayed away from, annuities and things like that, the ULs, because I don't want to be dealing with people's money, and some of the products I'm not comfortable with. So I just thought, well, let me just get some questions answered so when agents call in, I can help them. But I have a different perspective now because this product is, first of all, if no one mentioned, it's guaranteed. It's not, you're not risking people's money in any way, so it's guaranteed. And the concept is so simple that I may not be in the office as much because I'm really excited to get out there and share this with people. And I know that I'm going to be my own first client, and I've already spoken with a few people over the weekend, and it's just, I do believe it's life-changing.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Lee. And so, listening to Lee talk, there's another person completely just after boot camp. She already knows that she's going to write herself a plan, and she's talking to people at the grocery store that are going to be interested in it as well. Lee works in our office. Oh my gosh, Lee is there all the time. She comes in every morning at like 8 o'clock. She doesn't go home till like 6 o'clock at night. She's working on Saturdays. She is dedicated to helping all of our agents through anything that they need. She oversees the contracting department. She helps the agents. Every time an agent calls in, they're typically talking to Lee. Lee is sitting there saying, I went down there to learn this so I could help the agents understand it. But you know what? I want to go out in the field. This is getting me to go back out in the field and talk about this program. It's such a powerful message. It's such a powerful program. I highly recommend that you get some additional information on it. And we've set up a website where you can actually get some additional information on it. So if you're in front of your computer watching the live stream, or if you're in your car listening on the phone, pull over, take out a pen right now, and write this down. I'll actually shoot an email out with a link to this page here after the conference call a little bit later on today. So if you can't write it down, if you're in the car listening, don't do anything dangerous. Don't start writing while you're driving. We don't want that to happen. But the website where you can get additional information is... it's not a www. Well, I think www should work, but it's yfb.chelseainsuranceGroup.com. So if you go to yfb.chelseainsuranceGroup.com, you're going to come here, and it's going to be a website and I've got it on the screen now for those of you who are on the live stream watching. There's some information about this program. Of course, it's got our phone number, so you can call us if you want to get registered. You can actually register for boot camp right on this website. But, there's a couple of videos that I'd like to point out. There's check these 2 videos out right on the homepage. Take a sneak peek at boot camp. This is about an hour video that we recorded during part of boot camp. And then there's also an agent interview. We heard a little bit from Sal and a little bit from Lee there on the phone just now. But this is an agency owner that came down and interviewed with Larry the guy that heads up your family bank, and he just kind of talks about the opportunity from an agent's perspective as well. So 2 great videos right here on the website. Just talks a little bit more about the software. There's some agent testimonials on here, 4 of them right on the homepage. You can navigate by clicking on the arrows to get through them. But these are responses that we're seeing all across the board. If you want to register, then you just click on the register for boot camp. If you're not sure that you want to register yet, and you want to call in and talk to us, the phone number's on the website. It's 888-788-8641. If it's after hours, you can't get a hold of us on the phone, you can request info online. Just fill out this contact us form. We'll shoot you out an email, and we'll attempt to give you a call and talk to you. But it talks about the opportunity, it talks about the software. So that website, once again, is yfb.chelseainsurancegroup.com. It's packed with some information. When you go to register, you're going to select which class that you want. The very next one is February 22nd and 23rd. And like I said a little while ago, if this is something that you're considering and you're interested in, you do have to contract. You have to register for the boot camp, and you have to complete the contracting. All of that has to be in a minimum of 10 days prior to the first day of boot camp. So February 12th will be the cutoff date. If you attempt to register after that, you won't be able to get in until March. But we may even cut that cutoff date for February off earlier than that, because the room can only handle so many people. Once we hit that number, we turn off registrations. And we had to turn them off, I think for January's, we turned them off about 5 days before the deadline actually occurred. So, hey, don't sit around and wait and think about it. Just register, contract, get down there. I would like to open the call up to Alan as well and see if Alan had anything he wanted to add in.
Yes. Hey, Matt, great job. Thank you so much, Sal and Lee, not only for participating in this call, but for being great agents, and looking forward to a lot of success with your family bank product. I can't stress enough, and I too don't use this terminology very often, but it is life-changing. This opportunity is life-changing for your clients and for the agent as well. And I was apprehensive going. No, we didn't have anybody that went to this boot camp prior to us going, but we decided, let's see what it's all about. And we after like the first hour or two, Matt and I looked at each other and said, man, I'm so glad that we came. And I was also getting texts from the agents this past boot camp at around, I think it was 9:30. Both Lee and Sal texted me, thanking me for turning them on to the boot camp. So it doesn't take long to get thrilled about what happens at boot camp. So if you're even a little bit interested, or if you have any other questions, give us a call, because this is a great opportunity, because we're not out there necessarily doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. And this call went a little bit long. I want to thank everybody for being on the call, and look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. And remember, we're not on shutdown, just the government is. Go get some leads, get out there and sell some final expense this week. Talk to you soon.